The message this morning is going to be centered on how do I focus my attention on ensuring that the things that have popped up in my mind, that are at this moment, I consider them to be tender grapes, tender vines, that have the potentials to blossom, have the potentials to do great things in your life. How do you go about ensuring that they are well nurtured and well shielded or guided away from little foxes that can creep into the vine, that can creep into the garden, that can come around and begin to distort the realities you are beginning to form, you are beginning to work upon, you are beginning to figure out that this is the way I should go about it. In no doubt, we hear great messages in life. In no doubt, we experience a lot of things. Sometimes it might even be that you encounter someone who comes to meet you, and while you're just discussing, something pops up in your mind. It's a great idea. I mean, it's something that you feel that, wow, I think if I build on this thing, I think if I'm able to do some things, this idea that just came to mind. Sometimes we don't even want to share with someone, the person that maybe was just at the point of discussing. I read somebody's account of an attempt to buy an oil company some time ago. And at a point in one of his discussions with someone else, while he was just sharing his experience, the person he was sharing the experience with just had an idea from his own experience. So it's possible, it could even be that an idea popped up in your mind while someone was speaking to you. It could be that it was after those messages while you were discussing with someone else, trying to tell them about those messages that, wow, it's been so great, the things we've been learning, they've been so wonderful. It might just be that those things have popped up in your mind and you have either noted them down or you have them figured out in your mind that I'm going to do this. But most times, if we do not pay attention, if we do not focus our attention on the fact that it's not just about the ideas that have been able to pop up in my mind or that have formed, there is the tendency that I've got to shield, I've got to guide, I've got a work to do, so that I will not have things that will creep in and will distort. Okay, so let's look at it this way. When you hear a message, you take it to heart. So you begin to think about it. Where the thoughts is taking place is your mind. Are we clear with that? Okay, 1. 2, as you begin to think about it in your mind, the same way you are thinking about how to figure it, how to go about it, the same way you know you could possibly be thinking, is it really possible? Are we together? Is it possible? Is it true? You could be figuring like, so you think about it, if I do it this way, then, like we all say, a mind now says no. If you do it this way, but there's another mind, as though we have like 2 minds, so it's a double-minded. So that's why we always think that when the Bible talks about double-mindedness, it means that you have one mind that is saying this and you have another mind that is saying this. Of course, no. It's not that you have 2 minds, because if you have 2 minds, you are not a human being. Hallelujah. Praise God, somebody. Some people really have 2 minds. You see that, well, okay, you could be a human being, but you may need to be seeing Dr. Toby Shofu. Right? Constantly, you may have to do some diagnosis and help out. Right? Because you see some people, operating in that regard sometimes. They have a lot of struggles. That's something for another day. But where I'm going to is that you could have figure out in your mind that this is what I'm going to do, but you have this thought also, or you have several other thoughts that are also popping up in your mind and trying to help you out, either positively or negatively. The negative part of it is what I'm trying to focus on, is how to handle that. Because whichever way, you have to take territories. you and I, we've got to take territories. We've got to achieve a lot for the sake of the purpose that we have been called to in the kingdom of God. And I want you to know that the fact that you have those messages and the fact that some things, some ideas are coming to your mind is a clear indication that these things are possible. Most of the time, it is when you have not been able to even conceptualize that can something be done, can I do this, can I do that, that we will say that there's a challenge, there's a problem. But when you begin to think of something, everything created in life, everything that has come into establishment, started with the thought that should this be done? Let me give you an example. When God said, let us make man in our own image, it's a statement that stems from a thought that says, yes, we can make this. Okay, let us make man in our own image. At every point in time, it's usually from your mind. So your mind, the thought comes from, and the same mind, you begin to have the struggle. So I've figured out, or I've termed our minds to be the vineyard where the grapes that needs to be taken care of are. And where we have got little foxes all around that can possibly creep in and can affect things. What are those things? What are those little foxes? One, it could even be that as you have figured out that this is what you can do, immediately you have seen that your responsibility, maybe as a family person, is a major challenge for you. So you are beginning to think otherwise, that this is not possible. But that could be the least of the whole thing. Let's look at Song of Solomon. Hello.
Hi.
What else do you do Song of Solomon? Hallelujah. Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 15. I just want to read one verse there, only one verse. The KJV version says, take us the foxes, the little foxes that spoil the vines. For our vines have tender grapes. The Message version, it says, then you must protect me from the foxes, foxes on the prowl, foxes who would like nothing better than to get into a flowering garden. I love the NIV version. It says, catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards, are vineyards that are in bloom. Praise the Lord. At the moment, our mind is so tender about the messages we have heard, and we are just at the verge of breaking forth massively because something is being nurtured in your mind at the moment. Something tender, wonderful, something that needs to be well taken care of. We've got to pay attention to it. Through the messages we have heard, through the teachings we have heard, through the encouragement and the challenge you've had from those messages, that go ahead, you can do this. All you've got to do is that you pay attention to this from all the teachings that we've had throughout the month of May. So it's so tender at the moment. But there is also the challenge that as I have thought of it, there is this possibility. The thoughts are also coming. You know, I remember the first Wednesday meeting we had when, not the first Wednesday, the Wednesday when the beloved sisters and that took the teaching on how to start your business as an employee. There and there where we sat, we had people who asked questions. And those questions were just indications that as people have heard about what they could do, what they could possibly break into, they've also seen challenges. Things that are going to most likely make it impossible for them to be able to. One of it, which somebody asked about, was how to raise funds to even start up. Another person raised the question, but with my challenging work environment, how would I be able to go about this whole thing? Someone says, I've been able to, I work from morning till night, and by the time I'm back, I'm tired. So making an attempt to even add something else to it is going to be very challenging. These are the little foxes that you know, the way the mind works is such that you are listening to every conversation, deep conversation that is going on within your mind. And you end up taking decisions based on what you can figure out that is most convenient for you to do. Are we together? You end up making decisions based on that. So you look at it, you say, well, yes, I've got this idea, I can do this. But you know, these people, they just keep telling us we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. I don't blame them. He has worked in a great place and he has been able to save a lot. So he saved so much and he has had so much savings for him to even keep up his business. I'm even talking about this situation where I didn't have a job. I've got no money, no savings. Somebody says, I don't blame him. You know, his work schedule is not like mine. Most likely by the time he is done, he can still have enough time to even be able to do some other things. So at that moment, you are having reasons to counter the tenderness of your heart at that moment. That is going to make you to make that progress, to achieve the things that you have been taught to do. And you will realize that once you begin to pay attention to the so many reasons, you most likely unconsciously begin to go the easy path of, well, okay, maybe what I will first of all do is that I will go back to my office and begin to see how the workload and the work schedules can be readjusted so that when I've done that successfully, I can now begin to work on this idea that is coming forth. Somebody says, no, I'll first of all run and go for some savings. Maybe if I save for another 12 months, these ideas that have come up in my mind, I can begin to work on them. So you begin to go the easy path. You begin to go the easy path. Before you know what's happening, 12 months of saving becomes 24 months of savings. Because you realize that you are even unable to really save. Hello? Or you save and you realize that you are even unable to save 20% of what you need. You go back to your work, to your office space, and just as you are about to reschedule yourself to see how you can smoothen out things, your boss comes and says, we're sorry because of this situation in the country, we are going to downsize, and the workload of 3 people will now become the workload of 1 person. Hello? So, it gets complicated. It's not just 1 fox. It becomes 2. It becomes 3. They begin to come into, and they begin to get easy way into the vineyard. And begin to attack the blossoming grapes and vines and fruits and whatever it is that you've got, those ideas that are being nurtured in the mind. So, our mind is really the battlefront. That's where it is fought and it is won. And that is where it is also lost. I know we love to hear win or won. But most times we don't like to hear losing something or lost. But the truth is that our mind is the battle place where it is either lost or it is won. So for us to help us and shield and guide so well, so that as the foxes are coming in, as the ideas are pouring in against the things that you're already building, you're already making decisions, you're already figuring out, you're already deciding that you're going to do, as the foxes are creeping in gradually, you can begin to identify and say, I've got to this, so this is the way I have to block this. This is the way I have to block this. Oh, yes, I've got to focus on this because this is what I've got to achieve. One thing that I've identified you will do is that you've got to compel your mind to submit to all the instructions you have received. A heavy blow. I mean, you're going to do things that looks like you are hitting your mind so hard. Have you ever watched a boxing competition? Oh, sorry, it could be graphical sometimes. Because they can box themselves and there will be blood. Okay, sorry, but permit me to just quickly use that this morning. If you want to, there are two things sometimes they do. One is that you go into a competition, you want to win medals, especially maybe in the Olympics and the likes of it. The other one could be for entertainment. And when you say entertainment, you see this, they advertise the fight so much that everybody in the world wants to watch. They've told you how much each of the boxers will most likely earn at the end of the fight. So you're also curious. And they've done quite a lot of things that makes you to be interested in watching the fight. The boxers themselves understand that because people are paying for this match to either watch via all other media platforms, or they are coming to the stadium to come and watch, or wherever it is that is holding. So they are mindful of the fact that this match should not end in round 1 or round 2. They have to ensure that the match, at least it drags on till like round 10 or 11. You know why? If you are someone who can beat your opponent and with a lot of punches and finish him in the first or second round, you would next time, the promoter of that match will not want to sponsor you. Because they know that in first 2 rounds, you will just finish and people will not be interested in coming back next time. They want a situation where you can engage the people. And they are screaming, yeah, yeah, yeah. They do that for round 1. They go again, no, yeah. They do that for round 2. Round 3 again, the same thing. But see, you are not in an entertainment situation. Hello, this thing, you've got to have the mind of giving a knockout to your mind to submit to these instructions that it has received. And that's why, if you look, let's look at the 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 to 5. I'm going to first of all look at the King James version, then we'll look at the Message version. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 to 5. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not walk after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Casting down, pulling down. It looks aggressive. It doesn't look like something that you are romancing and you are trying to just drag on the match till the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, just to entertain people and make them feel cool. No, you are not trying to do a gaming thing, entertainment for the foxes, such that as they are coming, you push aside, you are lying again, they push aside, they look for some other holes. No. You are doing something that will make where they are coming to be so submissive to a shield that will guide them permanently and will help to guide them once and for all, such that you are pulling down, bringing down forcefully. It says, every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, the instructions you have received so far. Hello. Every thought, every imagination The things that are creeping in, that are telling you that you can't do them, that are telling you that you should stop, that are giving you so many reasons why it can be achieved. He's saying you have to find a way to pull them down, break them up, arrest them as much as possible. If it's, a heavy blow to your mind to submit. Look at it this way. The focus of this verse is not on the foxes, it's not on the thoughts, it's not on the issues that are coming around you. It's on your own mind to submit itself to the knowledge of God. How? Look at it. It says, every that exalts itself against knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Every thought of yours to the obedience of Christ. To the knowledge. First of all, it says, to the knowledge of God and to the obedience of Christ. And having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Total submission that disregards every other thoughts that is not aligned with the instructions you just received and you have received so far. Let's look at the Message version. The Message version says, the world is unprincipled. It's dog eat dog out there. The world doesn't fight fair, but we don't live or fight our battles. Never have and never will. Says, the tools of our work, of our trade, aren't for marketing or manipulation. Hello? You know, I just told you that you're not in for entertainment, such that you just want to allow those things. Like the boxers who are going to entertain people and make sure that the people who are paid enjoy the match, enjoy the fight for a long period. No! Your own is that you are going in, as you have received this instruction, you begin to compel your mind to submit to these instructions and focus on it and say, I believe it totally. I am holding on to these instructions I've received so far. All that we have been taught so far, I have to believe them and I have to take necessary actions according to the instructions. I'm making my mind to submit to it. I'm not allowing it to begin to pay attention to other things. I'm making it to submit to these instructions I have received. It says, they aren't for marketing or manipulation, but they are for demolishing the entire massively corrupt culture. We use our powerful God tools for smashing what philosophies. The boxes. They are what philosophies? They are what? Because they are against the truth and the ideologies, the real thing you have received so far. They're going to turn things around. They're going to make you to see. You will think that you are being smart by sitting on your own. The Bible says that who is the king or who is that nation that goes into battle that will not supposed to sit down and count the cost and look at what they want to do before they go. So you will think that's what you are doing. No, that's not what you are doing. What you are doing is you are entertaining folks that do to make sure that what philosophy is against the truth you have received from God's word, to allow you to think against, act against, and accept what looks like the truth. Most of the things we are permitted in our lives, they also look like the truth, but they are not the truth. Am I talking to someone here this morning? They make sense. Have you ever thought of something? Have you ever decided on doing something that does not make sense to you? Everything will make sense. Both the truth and the lie, they all make sense. Both the wrong and the good, or the right, they all make sense. The good and the bad, they all make sense. They make perfect sense, good sense. Somebody who goes to go and decide and goes straight to go and establish someone, Makes perfect sense. Somebody who decides that I need to save for another 12 months and the 12 months becomes 24 months, 36 months. It also makes sense to him. Because for him, he feels that he should be able to have enough to be able to launch out, to do what is good. So there's none of these things that will not make sense. But they are what philosophies, because we will get to know eventually that these things have a target. They are trying to work against the things we have got to do. So the word philosophies, tearing down barriers erected against the truth of God. Tearing down. Bringing down the barriers. Fitting every loose thing, every loose thought and emotion and impulse into the structure of life shaped by Christ. Our tools are ready at hand for clearing the ground of every obstruction and building lives of obedience into maturity. Into maturity. So, like I said, first thing is that you've got to pummel the mind to submit to all instructions that you have received so far. If you must shield yourselves, shield your mind, shield what you have learned so far now from the little foxes that are just around, looking for where they can come into and ravage the entire place. You've got to make sure that the Bible says that for out of this mind, comes both the thought of good and evil. Right? Again, it says, be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. Evil communication corrupts good manners. I'm sure another version would have made it so simple so that, almost like when we say things like evil, we think too far. We are thinking of one demon that has horns. Most of the time, when the KJV uses that kind of evil, you'll find another version trying to just let you know that it's not that kind of thing of horns or one black thing. It's just something that is negative to the right thing that you have or that is supposed to be flourishing within you. It's evil communication. As I said, guard your heart with all diligence. For out of it are the what? Issues of life. The bedrock of all the things you've got to do that you would achieve in life, it's in your mind. Your mind, that's where the decisions are being made. So you receive information and instructions from the Word of God. So far in the month of May, you've had quite a lot of things that you have to do to take territories. You are most likely already making decisions and trying to reach out for the things you're going to do. But at the same time, the struggle is possibly there. So you've got to make sure your mind submits totally. When your mind submits totally to the instructions you have received, when there's any other, let's take for example, there's a child that has offended in church, in school, and the teacher says, come here. Or let's not even use a student. Let's say someone who, let's go back to our boxing example. So you get to the boxing ring, you find your opponent, that's in round one, because you don't want to waste your time. And you don't want to waste your energy, right? You just want to make sure that you finish the whole thing this round one and go. There are some knockouts like that. So you go in. He stands, he rises and makes attempt to give you or to defend or give you another one or attempts to even run around the ring. Sometimes what boxers do is that they just run around just so that they can waste your time and make sure you are tired. So what most of these thoughts will do, will just play you around. Day one, you have not made any good decision because the good decision you have initially made, you have so many thoughts that are against it. So day two, the same thing happens. You have not still yet fired on because you are having some negative thoughts that are telling you that no, do it this way, don't do it the other way. It goes on like that for 1 month. Hello, month two, the same thing. It goes on. It's playing you. So just like the opponent is doing for this man that wants to give him a final blow. He's just playing him around the bridge. He runs around, so that they will not be tired. As in, both of them will be tired. And he knows that maybe if he's able to weaken this man by making him get tired, he can have an upper hand. But you don't have that time to allow that. So what the opponent is looking for, the man that wants to do a knockout, he makes sure that he gets into a corner. You know the corner of the ring.
And he knows that once he gets into that corner, all he's going to do is going to, the entire energy that is left within him, he will use it there at that moment till he makes him submissive. And when he finishes it, the knockout is such that you have knocked him down, he's unable to respond again. I mean, he's unable to stand up and respond with a punch. At that moment, the referee comes and declares the fight. But when you allow those imaginations that are supposed to be immediately ward off, to be immediately sent off, to be immediately discarded, when you allow them to continue to play in your mind, you won't stop there. You begin to build other things. Begin to build other things. Other things will begin to come up. Ideas will begin to come up in your mind why it is not possible for you to do. But like I just said, we have to first of all know and make up our mind that you have got to follow my mind. Make it submissive to God's word. You have to strongly subdue your thoughts with this phrase. It is possible with God. With God, it is possible. With God, all things are possible. The fox comes, the wrong thought comes, and wants to have a way into you, as it tells you that, if you do this way, it's not doing this. So why don't you, first of all, wait, and you come and you say, with God, all things are possible. You've given a blow, and your mind has submitted to that truth. It wakes up the fox. Another one comes, tells you, you see, your friend actually started the same thing just last month or 2 months ago. Don't you think that if you start the same thing, you look like you just copied your friend? So, and if you want to be good friends, must you make your friend feel that all you're doing in life is that you're copying him or her? Why don't you just think of something else? You come, you say, but with God, all things are possible. The same God who possibly is at work in that my friend is at work within me to do it. It's not because of my friend, it's because he has worked the thought to me and I'm accepting it. So you command your mind to accept and fight against the thought that says, don't do it because your friend is also doing it. After you have done that, another one comes. He says, but again, let's think about this. If you start this thing, don't you think that your family will be seriously affected? Why don't you give some time so that you are taking care of this and that, then you will not start later. You just come. You say, yes, that's true. It makes sense. So, but you know what? With God, all things are possible. It means I can do these things without allowing these things that seems negative to them to make me change my mind or decide otherwise. With God, all things are possible. Oh, I don't have enough resources. I've not been able to save enough, so I've got to do another 12 months. No. I know that with God, all things are possible. And there's nobody that I've ever seen who, for example, when things like business can start or have started something with almost nothing. You can come and meet me. I can share some experience with you. I have done business with almost nothing. I have built business into millions of naira with almost nothing. Just because I know that with God. See, the equation is such that the thing you've got to do plus God equals possible. The thing you want to do minus God equals impossible. Also, the thing you want to do plus maybe is also impossible. It is only that thing you've got to do plus God that equals possible. With God, all things are possible. So when the ideas, the things that comes that creeps in, and you're not just aware that these are just little foxes that are trying to come and damage the vine that has the potential to flourish, that is coming up gradually. When you begin to allow those things, you will fail so easily with it, and that will be all. But when you know that as these things are coming to my mind, as I am thinking about all these things that are not going to work out, that are not going to make it to work out, I know that with God. So it is not about the things that I'm thinking and how I will overcome those challenges. I just know that with God. So if I submit to the fact that with God all things are possible, and I make sure that my mind is totally submissive to that concept, that idea, and that instruction, the way out will come your way. Are we together? The way out will come your way. When Mary was visited by the angel, and she was supposed to have a child, despite the fact that she had known no man, she had had no relationship with any man before. It looked as though they were trying to tell her something that has never been heard before, because there has never been any virgin birth on earth prior to that time. But here is someone who God has chosen to do this, to go for this mission with. And when she questioned or tried, I went, how shall these things be, Lord? He said, don't worry. Don't bother yourselves. With God, all things are possible. Right there in her mind, she voiced out the thoughts that came to her mind and said, how shall these things be? But the Lord just assured her, said, with God, all things are possible. That we see in Luke chapter 1, verse 37 and 45. In Luke chapter 18, verse 27, it says, all these things with men, with the ideologies of men. Another thing that could also be dangerous is that after you have had all these ideas, all these instructions that have come your way, do you know that you will stumble on the news and just maybe read from the news that there's this new policy in town, and that policy just suggests something about what you're just about doing, and it seems as though if you continue, you are going to wreck your life. Let me shock you. In some of those terrible policy changes, that's when some people have become great millionaires in life. These are people who didn't mind the fact that the world is saying there's a casting down. But I know that all I've got to focus my attention on is that there's a lifting up here. Because I do not call it configuration what they call it configuration. I do not fear the fear of the world. The Lord of hosts is my own. I know with Him, this situation plus Him equals possible. Praise the Lord. Secondly, mirror the actions and results in your mind. The first thing I said that you've got to do is to program your mind to submit to all instructions that you have received. The second way to shield your mind from the foxes that can come and destroy the tender mind that are beginning to come up within you is that you've got to mirror the actions and results in your mind. Mirror the actions and results in your mind. Mirror it. Okay? So, as those teachings came forth, as they were coming, you eventually, one particular one settled in your mind that this is what I'm supposed to do. Or a lot of things settled in your mind. Oh, so when I have this my income, what I should do is that I should do this with this amount, I should do this with this amount, I shouldn't do this. Okay? Then, when I get to some point, I should be able to achieve this. It has come. When that instruction has come and you have noted it down, what you begin to see to yourself is that you begin to see yourself doing it. You begin to mirror yourself in every now and then. Even when you don't have those funds or resources in your hand, you begin to mirror yourself doing it. It's not daydreaming. It's not daydreaming. You're not into yoga. Hello. What you're just doing is that what the thought in your mind, you are giving a mental picture to it. You know what that does? Let's look at Hebrews chapter 11, verse 9 to 10. Hebrews 11, verse 9 to 10. By faith, he dwelt in the land of promise, as in a foreign country, dwelling in tents with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Look at verse 10. For he waited for the city which has foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. That verse 10. He had the mental picture of a city. Hello. He knew that there was a city he was visioning. This kind of city I'm seeing. The builder and the maker can't be a human. This thing I'm saying, it's not like this other. He has been dwelling with others. He dwelt with those who are of the promise. They were just together there. But what he was seeing is beyond what the ordinary man would have put together. Whose maker and builder is God. That was what he was seeing and it was in his mind. So while he stayed there, waiting for the events to happen, to take place, his focus was on the mental picture of what he was seeing. So while these things are there in your mind, and they are beginning to come up as the ideas and the things are coming up, all you've got to focus on is the end result. You're seeing how that idea becomes that great business, that great company. You've seen yourself employing the required staff, because in your study you've seen that maybe you'll be needing about 250 staff to work with you in that project. You've seen how you'll possibly be able to manage them. You hire a HR manager who's going to help you out. You set up the HR department properly and all. See, when you begin to do all these things, you will just see that there will be sometimes you begin to pick up a pen and paper and just be noting down some things. I can bet you, after a long while, you'll be shocked what you have noted down. But when you begin to figure them out, you just like, okay, great company. To be like this other company, great, but maybe better than the great. And that's all. Then the thought comes and says, you think you did those great things just in one day? No. You have to first of all go through something. So it's not your time yet. Just wait. Before you can be like those ones, just wait. You have to do this, you have to do that. Then you begin to discard. No! The man that will wake up, that will shield his mind from those little boxes, of those thoughts that are going to be against him or her, is a man that will begin to figure them out. And as you are figuring them out, you can begin to draw the plans. You can begin to draw the plans. You can begin to do a lot of things. He saw that, see, by the time you have ended, you will realize that the maker and the builder of what you are, the person who can be main architect of you achieving this thing that you have pictured, you will see that it is God. It is not because you see that this thing is beyond, I can't do this. How will I be able to achieve this? But you will come back to the first point that says, this picture I'm seeing plus God. It is equal what? Possible. Possible. Whatever it is possible. The people who have built the great things in life, you think they fell from sky suddenly? They just fell, boom, and they began to build those things. No, they're just people like you who, against all odds and those thoughts and those imaginations and the little foxes that were trying to tell them it's not possible, they shielded their mind from those things and they knew that it was possible. In fact, funny enough, some of them were not even believers. They didn't even think that with God it was going to be possible. They just knew that this thing is possible. How much more you that you've got the life of God in you? You know that with God, all things are possible. Because the God that you have in you, He is the same God who all He did was, He said, let there be light. And there was light. When He created the heavens and earth, created light, created everything, He looked at it and said, okay, I think there should be some herbs, there should be some grasses, there should be some things that will be coming up. Okay, so let this begin to come up. Let me begin to do it. So that this will be useful for man, this will be useful for plants and for animals, and He began to do so many things. It is in those things that you begin to work on. You have read it up, you have been able to submit your mind to believe that with God all things are possible. Now you have pictured it in your mind. And as you're picturing it, you are taking notes of all the things that are coming. The final one is that you will create your wall with your word. You create your wall with your word. Hello. Yes, I'm working on this project. It's a project that's going to be one of the great creative press in this world. In a few years' time now, we're going to be here, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be achieving this. So, some people will not laugh out at you. They will only laugh at you inside them. Oh, great. Very nice idea. Nice idea. Okay, so how are you going to do? You say, okay. Okay, it's as well. He goes, and then some people, they are not small kids. They came yesterday and he wants to become the this of the world. But do you mind that? Look at Hebrews chapter 11. Same Hebrews, verse 3. It says, through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by what? The word of God. That's the word of God that is dwelling in you. Hello? We understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. They were made of things that did not appear. And as I said in the second point, all you've got to do is that you've got to mirror these things. So that when your world is eventually created, you yourself will know that it was created from the things that were not seen. Not from physical things, but were created from the things that were unseen. Created from things. It says, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God. Oh, the Lord has blessed me. He has shown me great things He's going to do. And He has said to us, He said I should just continue with what I'm doing and focus my attention on having to get that equipment. Very soon, if I get that equipment, in another few months, I will leave this job so that I can focus on it. And we'll begin to build that. In this industry, we'll be well known. In fact, everybody will reckon with us. They are creating the world in the world. You are not saying, is it this thought that has been coming to my mind? This country, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's difficult for me to, I don't know. But anyway, we'll try. We'll trust God. You have just added two things together. Possible with impossible. What will it create? It will create impossible. Because God did not add possible with impossible. All God did was that He knew that this thing is possible, and He created it with His word from what was not seen at all. When you need to have the millions in your account before you can create that business empire, you most likely will not create it. Because all He wants to achieve with you now at the moment is that you are able to have with you just 1,000 naira, so that tomorrow you will say you built that multinational company with 1,000, with something that was not seen, with something because you didn't have the physical evidence, you didn't have the physical materials, you didn't have the physical properties, you didn't have the things that will make it to be so. Praise the Lord.